that's a good question. I have a couple. I mean, let me try and think of like one that's like funny or interesting. Um, Let me think. The most recent one that I can think of. Okay, there are a few. I remember I went to Europe for the first time like as a solo trip uh in June of this year. And
Awesome.
it
So
was super
all of your solo traveling has been done this year then.
yeah, yeah. A
Oh,
lot
very
of
cool.
yeah. I wanted to go just to spend some time with myself. I just really felt like I needed some time to just do things on my own. And I remember uh I went to like I barely had a plan. Like I had like some idea of what I wanted to do, but I was like going between a couple of different cities. And I I went to Berlin and on one of those legs. And I remember like getting to this hostel and I was like completely out of place. I felt very completely out of place because I have not been in like a hostel in like a really, really long time. And there were a bunch of people there that I I felt like I got cold feet. Like I walked in and I was like, all these people, I don't know anyone here. It feels like a college dorm. I don't know what I'm going to be doing with my day. I'm like a little concerned about whether my experience here is going to be good or not. And I genuinely, for like the first 5 minutes after I got to the hostel, because it was, it was like so, um, it was like not disorganized, but it was just like a lot of energy in one room, which I typically like. But it also just felt very very intimidating to see so many people in one place, not knowing anybody there, kind of feeling like a college dorm vibe, and just really not knowing like, is my experience here going to be like fun? Is it going to be like difficult? Am I going to have like I was worrying about stuff like, am I going to be able to sleep properly in the dorms because it's going to be super loud? Like, are there people going to be partying all the time? I just didn't know. And like for those first 5 minutes, I was like, I don't really know what I want to do right now. I actually generally considered like just leaving and going and buying like a hotel room or like an Airbnb. But I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna give it one night. I know that there's like all sorts of age groups here. Let me just see what happens. And I'm so glad that I did because the first group of people that I met in the living room that evening, like these three people walked in and um they were these Dutch people that were like completely uh they were like fully decked out in like club attire. I've never gone clubbing in Berlin before, but they're like completely decked out, tattoos everywhere, like super, super cool people. I was again intimidated. I didn't know whether I want to talk to them or not because I was like, I don't know if this is my vibe. But I struck up like a conversation with one of them. I was telling them about like how it was my first time there. And I was just like really, I love like the tattoos that they had and like some of the piercings that they were wearing. And we spoke for like an hour just in that living room. They were supposed to leave for like a club or something. We spoke for like an hour and they loved the conversation so much that they like dragged me out. They said, "You're gonna come with us out into the city to club." And again, I was like, I don't know if like I'm not really like a club person. Like I don't know if I am like I'm really not sure if like this is like my vibe. But again, like that part of my brain, I was like, let me just say yes and see what happens. And I like said yes to them. And I had like the most amazing night I could possibly have imagined. I went to like they took me to like five different clubs. I was basically with them from like 9 p.m. till 5 a.m. the next day. I got to learn about where they were from, what their lives were like, what they were interested in, like what their goals were, all of this stuff that I would never have learned if I had not said yes to like that first interaction. And I feel like it's just like little moments like that where I'm just like, okay, sometimes you might not know what the vibe is, but it's okay to just kind of go with it, you know?
I agree. I mean, I you say little moments like that, but I mean, you're like that followed big moments. Like you were on a solo trip, you chose to go in a hostel, you chose to spend the night.
Yeah.
Like that was a lot of yeses to a lot of uncomfortable situations
There
in a
were
row.
so many where I was like, I could just be in a hotel. Like, you have to understand because I love interacting with people, but I also love my own space. I really do. Like, I want to be alone sometimes. So this was like a lot for me to go in and just be like, yes, there's so much uncertainty in so many different aspects. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna try and I'm gonna see what happens. And I swear to God, like I'm trying to make that my motto now ever since that trip because you really don't know who you're gonna come across, what experiences you might have if you just give yourself like a chance to be uncomfortable for a little bit.
Have you done that at all since then, or like stateside maybe?
Yeah, I really have. Like, I think I came back and I realized like I'm not really putting myself out there to do things. Like I kind of came back from the trip and I really thought about like how am I spending my time? Like what do I really care about? Before that, I kind of felt a little bit insular. Like I wouldn't really do much. My focus was always on work or just like one hobby or something that I felt like I need to spend all of my time in. Usually that was just like music or something, but it was I felt like my whole life was like consumed by work. And I came back from that trip and I was like, why am I not like saying yes to doing more things for myself in general? And I funnily, I feel like I came back and I started advocating for myself to do more things. Like it didn't have to be necessarily all the time with other people, but I really started pushing myself to just go and find new experiences. Anything. Like even if it's something I've never done before. I went to like poetry open mics to go listen to other poets, like original writings. And I even tried it. I even went to the open mic myself. Like I went and I did like an open mic with poetry. I had like written poetry and I tried that for the first time and it was great. I went to um like drawing sessions. Like I've never like gone into like an artist studio to draw. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. Like I'm just gonna go and see like what happens. Like I don't know anything about drawing, but I want to like take myself out to this new experience. I would go and do that. I started getting into like I was trying to find things where it was kind of focused around like community. So I wanted to find like meetups where um I could maybe connect with people on stuff that I found mutually interesting. So there were like music meetups that I went to that I've been going to try and connect with people who are like interested in music, who might want to do something like music based and also community based. There's just been like these little things that I didn't really do before for some reason that I've like been pushing myself to do more. And I feel like it's just been really nice to have that. It just feels nice to give myself more of that time now than I did before. Because I don't think before the trip that I really like critically thought about what it is that I want to spend my time doing for myself outside of just like being a drone and just working all the time, which has its place, but I just feel like I haven't been very kind to myself.